Yeah, yeah. Gone done. Yeah. The hit is stores up. I replace the T for C, nigga. I'm hit his calls up. You dig?
Hello, my name is Nana Kagga and this is my show, The Black Phoenix. Today I want to talk about mental illness and depression. It is not a topic that a lot of people want to address. I don't know if it's a culture issue here for us as Ugandans, but I feel like even more so today, we're getting people suffering from these two mental disorders. Basically, I just want to start and say mental health is a medical disorder that affects basically our emotional, psychological, and social response to life. And it is really prevalent now because I'm not sure why, but a lot of people are suffering from it. It's almost the same thing as depression. Depression is basically where, you lose interest in all things, and it affects the way your life is. It affects your appetite, it affects your sleep, it affects the way you interact with everyone in your community. It affects the way you live, and ultimately it's associated with suicide thoughts. Now, I wanted to address this because a lot of people, there is no way to describe depression. I think they're medical terms, but for me, I feel like there is not a single description you can give this mental illness. A lot of people will sit down and they tell you, tell me exactly where it hurts. Talk to me, what is the problem? And you cannot articulate. You cannot tell someone that I feel like I'm surrounded by darkness. I feel like my body is alive, but my mind is dying. I feel like I don't have the willpower to live through the next hour. And a lot of people will, I think, tell you that you want attention, that you are just weak, that you're broken. And I want to address this because I suffer from depression, and I've just recently made a choice to talk about it because I'm starting to see that there are a lot of people who are experiencing it and they're being ridiculed for experiencing it. But from someone who suffers from depression, it is hard. It is hard to deal with. It is not something you wake up in the morning and make a choice that you're going to suffer from it. And it is basically, I feel like it is based on a few things. It is based on biochemistry. There's also the issue of personality, where people with low self-esteem have and are prone to depression. There's also genetics, whereby it's actually a genetic disorder. It runs through the family, but not many people want to listen to that. And then there's the environmental issues. People that have grown up or experienced an environment of abuse, of ridicule, of failure, of poverty, suffer from depression. But we all have our different triggers. I wanted to talk about it because it doesn't affect a certain demographic, although they say women are more prone to depression than men. But I feel like we're living in a society where we are not kind anymore. We are not willing to help other people because we need to ridicule them in order to feel like, that like you are above them. Being depressed is a traumatic experience. It is something you can't articulate. It's something you can't share. It is something where you feel your mind is spiraling out of control, and the fear and the loneliness that comes with that is absolutely terrifying. People in today's world see certain individuals and they attach certain criteria or terms and conditions. It's like you're broken. It's like it's a weakness that you must not share with the world. But I like to tell people that, when you're depressive, just the act of living is an act of survival. You go through day to day, you go through hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I wanted to lend a live voice to something that has become so prevalent. We're living in a world where we're crippled by expectation. Social media alone, will not let you suffer in silence. It also will not let you suffer in public, especially if you're considered to be successful. Nobody wants to hear about someone's plight and lend a helping hand and not judge and be kind. It is something that is no longer given freely. We go to social media when someone is spiraling out of control, they look like they can't hold their life together, and we feed on them, we feed on their problems, we feed on the fact that they seem to be losing control of their lives. We ridicule them, we literally break them. And I wanted to talk about it and say, more than anything, when you're depressed, sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you need to feel the warmth of another human being to know that you matter. Sometimes you just want a word of kindness. Someone to say, you know what, I love you. Or someone to just say, it's okay, I'm here. I don't want to know what's going on, but I'm here. And it is the humane thing to do, because in a world where we no longer physically connect with other people, it is so important that even on social media, we be kind. When someone looks like they're falling apart, as opposed to ridiculing them, sharing their pictures on Facebook, sharing their videos on Facebook, when you don't know what has triggered them, when you don't know what they're going through. Also, there's the concept that depression is an attention-seeking state of mind.
Yeah. Gone done. Yeah. The heat is stores up. I replace the T for C, nigga. I'm hit his calls up.